Hello. My name is Michael Lemk, and today was my first day of my co op. So, started at 9 a.m. I had to move my car beforehand. Um, it was July 8th, Monday, July 8th, 2024. Um, yeah, what happened? We had a 3 hour orientation where spent the first hour just meeting each other, going over like our life stories, everything but the venture, just about ourselves. And then we went into expectations for us throughout this venture. So um, stuff like weekly meeting, Tuesday at 11:30. Um, we set up one-on-ones bi-weekly, every other week with um, Theo, and we have daily posts we have to do. We have weekly posts. We have monthly meetings. We're gonna have a presentations once at the every month, and a final presentation also. Um, but I think the thing that stood out to me most about today was um, my cohort. I I was really impressed by um, I guess just being in a room with these people. Um, Maybe I've never sat at a table where everyone is a business owner before, so that was a really cool feeling, um, that I could get used to because we just had conversations. I could go on asking about like details, like, oh, what about this? What about this? It's fun. I want to be in their shoes, and like learn about, oh, how do you handle it when like a worker does this, or how are you choosing your products to stock this place. So really cool and inspiring because a lot of these people are, three of them are post revenue. They made $1 at least. I'm pre revenue, so it's a huge motivator for me. Um, yeah. Um, I stayed in there until 5. I logged the stuff I did every 15 minutes. So orientation until 2. And then I spoke with Theo for 15 minutes telling about my upcoming trips. I organized my a new Notion page for 15 minutes. And then spent 30 minutes filling out my I-9, which I had to do, sections 1 and 2. I had to go in person and get my passport scanned. I explored teacher programs for a half hour, and then spent another half hour on my weekly post and a 6 month plan, and then another 45 minutes on my 6 month plan. And then I spent 15 minutes preparing uh, 4 additional schools to call because I had 6 already in my outreach. So I have 10 for tomorrow. Um, a goal I had but I did not reach was to read 20 pages of Advanced Montessori, a book I found online, an archive somewhere. Instead, I read a different book because I had that one paper and I was reading outside, so I didn't want to read on my computer. So yeah, didn't completely satisfy that, but I could still do it before the group meeting tomorrow, um, along with some calls. So I guess I can go now. That was like the venture stuff. Personal stuff I had, um, after work. I called a friend for a half hour, and then hung out with my cousin. Played spike ball with him and his 2 roommates for like an hour and a half maybe, and then cornhole also. It was also my second game of cornhole today because I played with Theo and Will and Join. So um, yeah, just for context, Will has a landscaping company and Join is a musical artist or music artist. Um, and the other co-ops, you have Jack working on a ketchup company with his friend from high school, I'm guessing. You have Naomi and Ashley, and they are jointly working on a a vending machine that sells um, hair products for African hair, um, at college campuses. And then you have Sage, who designs and sells, designs, makes, and sells earrings. Um, and yes, you have a wide array of stuff. Um, we went to lunch together as well at Prest, which was really nice. He took us out for lunch. So after hanging with my cousin, um, I read a book, Unreasonable Hospitality, for like an hour, and I booked a flight. It's July 8th, and my birthday's on the 13th, so I booked a flight on the 12th at night to go home for that. So it's nice. Julia will pick me up from the airport and come up from Jersey, and then go down to the shore the next day, but still be able to hang out with me and my friends the night before. We might go out and then do like a family thing in the morning and afternoon and night. So yeah. Then after reading, I met up with my friend Alder for dinner, and we made salmon with asparagus and like broiled fingerling potatoes, and a lot of watermelon. So that was really tasty. And we talked a lot about the venture, actually. I told him about my plans to basically have a photo recognition component to the software that allows teachers to have the most seamless experience, where they don't have to kind of do double work and upload stuff into a system. They can just take a photo and it'll be uploaded to the system, which could have numerous benefits. Something that Alder shared that I think is really smart is that it doesn't actually update it without approval for each individual operation. So for example, a teacher wrote down 20 things on their paper. You take a picture of that, and you have a list of 20 things, and so-and-so mastered this, check. So-and-so was given a lesson on this, check. So-and-so is now working on this, check. And then if something was wrong, X. And then maybe the part of the image that was is now displayed. And then the teacher can either type or speak into it, saying like, this should have been this. And this is all very idealistic, but I think a basic version of that is close to being possible with ChatGPT and its API. So excited to build that out along with doing my daily sales calls and everything. Maybe I could share. I don't know how to do this actually. I could share what I came up with for my 6-month plan. It's a interesting format. I've focused on 4 categories that I think, at least you see on the income sheet. Well, you see them in 2 categories, but research and development and sales and marketing. The other 3rd category, I guess, is like general and administrative like expenses. But yeah, so the first 2 I split into 4. So research, development, sales, and marketing. And I set basically like topics for each month. So for July, I want to research photo recognition. I want to research primary Montessori reporting. I want to read Maria Montessori's books and scientific articles on Montessori curriculum efficacy. I want to develop the photo recognition updating software. I want to develop a basic report generation. I also want to develop a basic landing page for the company. So I have a landing page. Right now it's just a login screen. It's locked. My sales goal for July is to make 50 cold calls a week and to email follow-ups to those who don't answer, including the ones from my past reach outs who I haven't emailed yet. And then do all sales calls possible that will come from the cold calls. And then now this one is more of a exploratory thing, but for marketing, I thought it'd be cool to have content marketing geared towards Montessori parents. Um, yeah, it seems kind of disconnected to the whole thing, but um, I guess it kind of gets at my goal to attack this like space from all angles, and I think that's like underserved. Like I don't think there's a newspaper out there or newsletter, um, just basically like tips from Montessori teachers to parents who either are Montessori like parents or um, can't. Like there's no Montessori school in the area. There's no um, they can't afford it, um, and these parents might still want to like have their kids benefit from the techniques and the works. So the materials and the lessons. So yeah, kind of like a how-to Montessori at home would be a cool thing to like send out. So I basically did that for every month, and it got harder the farther you go out because it's like, oh my god, like everything can change in a week. Um, but I tried to come up with something that was true to what like I think could happen. Um, yeah, I think that's a good description of what I have going on. Um, moving forward, I'm going to keep track of this timetable thing as I satisfy my. Actually, one more thing I did is I can read out is the weekly goals that I had prepared. So yeah, my goals for today were to refine the 6-month plan in preparation for tomorrow's meeting, read 20 pages of the Advanced Montessori Methodology book, and set up the phone numbers and staff directories for the 10 schools I'm going to cold call tomorrow. And I didn't all that except I read something else. And my goals for this upcoming week continue to make 50 cold calls, logging them in the outreach system, email schools that don't answer. Yes, learn more about how to fine tune a vision model to recognize the Montessori teacher shorthand. And this one's also another like exploratory thing, but to contact 10 teacher education programs asking about the software they use / recommend. Just I don't know, getting my exposure, like increasing exposure, increasing that like chance of meeting new teachers as well. Um, start planning out schools along a route across the U.S. of a road trip that I plan to do with Alder in August. Reach out to a teacher who I called earlier in the summer who felt technology use wasn't authentic to Montessori curriculum in the classroom. I want to ask her about the photo recognition idea and to set up direct deposits to start getting paid, because that is a huge part of this. Is I get paid to do this, so um, I think it's around $20,000 across the 6 months, which is enough to pay my rent and let me continue on this, and gives me a healthy amount of money to spend. I already spent like 2,500 of it on a conference. With the ticket was 900, the boarding was expensive, 1,400 and or 1,300, and then plane ticket was 400, 300. So yeah, um, I mean that conference I learned so much. I met people that have turned into potential customers. Um, just getting the ball rolling. So I'm gonna cut it off there because this went longer than I expected. But I want to keep doing these because I think it's good for me to reflect and